Welcome to Scooter Saturday, or whatever day you're actually watching this. We have a brand new scooter on the channel here. It's a little bit different than some of the other ones we've been testing recently because this one's a little bit more on the affordable side. This is the new TurboAnt X7 Pro, but before we test it, we have to unbox it. Well, there she is. She's all built, the X7 Pro. Once you unfold it, you'll see it's quite a smart design. You see the latch will lock in on the front here, and you just push that lever in the back and rotate this collar that goes and covers the lever so it can't disengage. And it's quite solid. The entire scooter is more solid than I was expecting. It's all metal construction, a good kickstand there. You get 10-inch pneumatic air-filled tubed tires, and you do even get an extra tube if you happen to get a flat. I like how tidy the wiring and the cabling is rooted all within the body of this scooter here. And you'll notice you do get a rear disc brake, which is pretty amazing for the price point of this scooter, which we'll get to in a second. You also get an additional brake. It's a friction brake. And so with that and the rear disc, you can come to a stop pretty quick. When you do apply the rear disc brake, the LED will flash, so you have brake lights. And if you press the function button twice, you also get a headlight. It's 3 watts, doesn't seem like much, but it does make quite a difference at nighttime. Now here's something that is a little bit different compared to some of the other scooters that I've been testing lately. It's the battery placement. Most of them, the batteries are built into the deck and they are not removable. Other than that Evolve Corsa that we tested, this one here has the battery, which is a 10 amp hour battery, and it is mounted on the stem itself. So not in the base, and the beauty of it is it's also removable. So you just pull the lever, and if you pull up and pull out, there you go. That is your battery. Now, what is the advantage of this? Well, guess what? You can buy additional batteries. It's about $200 for an extra battery, which is not too bad. So if you don't have the time to charge, you can just swap out for a fully charged one. Or you can maybe park this in your garage and charge the battery separately. Put it back in. Hear that snap? It's in there. Now, this is the X7 Pro. There is an additional new model of the X7 available now as well, and that's the X7 Max. And the difference between that Max and the Pro is pretty well the same, other than that Max, they basically massaged the software a little bit so you get a couple miles more range, but the deck is also wider and a little bit higher, and they actually have a lock on the battery area, so no one can actually take your battery. So if those 3 things interest you, you might want to have a look at that one as well. Let's get into some numbers. The maximum range is 30 miles or 48 kilometers. There's the 350 watt front hub motor. Top speed is 20 miles an hour or 32 kilometers an hour. Maximum weight for the rider is 275 pounds, and the scooter weighs in at just 33 pounds or 15 kilograms. So this is the lightest scooter that I've tested. And I gotta tell you, once it's full up, when I'm lifting it, my back really appreciates it. The Pro has a waterproof rating of IPX4, so it's not completely waterproof, but it can withstand splashes of water from any direction. There are 3 speeds on the X7 Pro. There's basically a slow, medium, and a high. And the high, they call it a sport mode. I normally have it only on sport mode, but the lower speeds are actually handy if you are basically trying to teach someone how to ride an e-scooter, or maybe they're inexperienced or for their first time. It's nice to be able to graduate up to the certain speeds. Now, one thing to note, this does have a cruise control, and out of the box, it is set default as cruise control on, so be aware of that. It might actually startle you when you push that thumb down and you hold it for about 6 seconds, it'll beep, and all of a sudden, you don't have to actually push that spring down anymore, it'll just keep on going. So you can change that and turn it off in the P modes in the actual controller. I would, it's up to you. Maybe if you're not really comfortable with it right away, turn it off. But once you're comfortable with it, it's very, very handy to use. And if to deactivate it, when you have it activated, you just either just hit the throttle again or hit the brake, and that's it. The Pro can climb inclines up to 15 degrees. And we just did a hill there. And anything above that, you can just give it a little kick or two to get you the momentum going back again. Or just take a run at it. By the way, this controller, I gotta say, even in bright conditions, you can actually read it. And that's amazing. I've ridden some scooters that are 4 or 5 times the cost of what this costs, and their displays are nowhere near as clear as what this is. It would be nice though, if this would show a trip odometer, but as it is, it just shows your speed and your battery indicator, but it is clear. The X7 does not have any suspension, but those 10-inch air-filled tires really do help iron out some of the bumps that it has. I'm overall really impressed of how this little scooter handles. Like I said, it's very solidly built. Here we go. We are around 31 or 30, we hit 32 kilometers an hour. That is the top speed of this, so it is achievable. All of these specs on all the e-scooters are under the most ideal conditions, meaning perfect day, no wind, flat surface, smooth, full battery, and probably a lot lighter rider than I am, for sure. On a flat surface, I can easily cruise at around 28 kilometers an hour. All right, onto some gravel here. There we go. This is soft gravel. Okay. Pulls it through. No issue. Now, one thing to note though, because the battery is on the stem, the front end is a little bit heavier than what I'm used to. So sometimes what I like to do if I'm going and approaching a little, a little bit of a curb or something like that, is I like to do a wheelie, just pull up. And with this being a front wheel drive, what's gonna happen if you pull up and you have the throttle on, you can hear the little chirp there is because the tire is spinning faster once that tire is in the air. So solution, when I pull up, I just let off the throttle, no problem. One thing that I did notice though is out of the box, this unit has a little bit of a front vibration, and it's not the stem, it's not a stem wobble, but it's actually coming right from the tire, the hub. So I'm thinking more, it might just be like an imbalanced rim. And it seems to happen at different speeds more so than others. Brake-wise, let's do a brake test. 3, 2, 1, and oh yeah, brake works really well. It's full-on skid. I actually like the bell on here quite a bit. It's just a 1 pull, and you get 2 dings out of a single pull. All right, let's get to the highs and the lows. Starting at the highs, number 1, it's affordable. It can be had for even under $500, depending if there's a sale or not. So it's extremely affordable. Number 2, it's lightweight, 33 pounds. I love it. I like the fact that their battery is removable, and if you want to get an extra one, it's not going to break the bank. The fact that it comes with air-filled 10-inch tires and a rear disc brake, that's 2 thumbs up from this guy. And I like the overall design of this. Not only is it compact, but it's extremely solid and feels very well built. And then we get to the lows, and I'm not even sure what I can really say for a low, because you have to remember, this is a $500 scooter, maybe even less, depending where you live. And the ones that I've been testing are 3 times the price with more power. Of course, I'd say, hey, I want more speed out of this. I want hydraulic disc brakes. I want dual motors. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy if you want to spend $2,000, but this is not a $2,000 scooter. So you know what? There's a couple things though. Number one, the X7 Max that I mentioned, which has the lockable battery and the bigger deck. That's one's not available in Canada yet. Hopefully, cross your fingers, maybe you'll be able to get that one. But if you're in the US, you can order that in the US. And the other thing, and I mentioned as well, there is a little bit of a vibration coming from the front tire area on this particular model. And I know it's not a stem wobble that I've experienced in some other scooters. It's not from the hinge here. It's super solid there. It's something that wheel is a little bit imbalanced, that's it. It's not a huge deal. I don't know any different because this is the only TurboAnt that I've ridden. If you've ridden one or if you own one of these and you're watching this, let me know. Does yours have any type of vibration from the front? It might just be from that front motor itself. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're interested in either the X7 Pro or the X7 Max or any of the scooters from TurboAnt, I'll leave a link right below there in the video description. Hope to see you in the next video. Remember, thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching.